Like, is that like a thing where we force women to wear like bat arms? When you go shopping, everything is like a Scarlett O'Hara, like blousey moment. And I don't know. Do we need this? Or you're just
as funny that it's billowy.
It's
like
billowy.
But as though you're trying to hide something, as though it's not see-through.
Trying to hide the tag on the side. Yeah, you have to sit up straight, otherwise they see that. And it's a good thing that we have a deep chair. Because, just like nothing is working for me. I was nervous that because we had a tall man, Tianfu was not gonna, not that you're not tall, but you're exceptionally tall, that she was gonna freak out. So I'm proud of her that she came in here. Please don't look at her. Okay. Emily Higgins, everybody. I like you with the first and the last name.
Because this time was definitely more of like an introduction, like, oh, it's Emily Higgins, as opposed to like, okay, well, now I'm going to talk to Emily Higgins.
Okay, fine. Now I have to talk, as court ordered, talking to Emily Higgins.
Sorry. This is my Make-A-Wish. Every week, you have to sit down with me.
I'm like, why isn't she dead yet? Okay.
I'm hanging in there.
You're hanging in there. Fortunately for me. And so, who enjoyed the Fight Me segments on the podcast? Okay. Well, we cut it.
Thin clapping. That was
because
thin
not
clapping.
enough of you liked it. What, Scott?
Just thin clap.
It was a thin clap. It was a tenuous, like some of you were like, we like whatever you do. And so, it was the clap from like a mom that was just like, you could still play in the NBA if you tried. Like, we got rid of it. So the Mayim Bialik one that we shot last week was the death knell for it, even though she was great. That was it for Fight Me. And we're going to be replacing it eventually. But for now, we're just going to dive right in, right?
We can. Usually you do a little more. You wanted to fight some more, you said, about Christmas. You said you wanted to fight about the holidays.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I wanted to fight you, Emily.
You wanted to fight me.
Yeah, because you're smaller than me. I wanted to do a episode about, like, a holiday episode. Like, in my mind, it was, like, an Oprah's favorite things, even though I wouldn't give anyone anything. But, like, people could dress festive, and maybe we hand out hot chocolate, and you were, like, a Scrooge, and you're like, no, we can't do a holiday episode. We won't get it in time. And you just put a giant, like, turd in my stocking.
I just think I love your passion for the fans, for making things, but there are administrative elements that go into a show. All these good people were emailed by me to come here. They were given the details. They had to check in. They had to sign a form.
Yeah, so
they had
just
to be
for
escorted.
all of you that, what was that word? Did you say escorted? Oh, you got to get escorted. For anyone that like drops out at the last minute, just know that was a hand-hewn invitation by Emily. She checked in everyone. This isn't some like robot or some intern. It's Emily in her like tiny 5-bedroom house in Georgia getting this done. This is a homegrown grassroots. It's a homegrown grassroots goose rat operation, and so I wanted to do a holiday episode. Emily said no, and so we'll just keep it evergreen and icy cold. Yeah? That's the way you want it? Well,
you aren't, and I'm not either. We're not Christian.
No, I'm not Christian. All the more reason to celebrate someone else. Do you know how fucking thrilled I would be as a Jewish person if someone was like, oh my God, I can't wait for Passover? I'd be like, knock yourself out. Like, when you're of a minority, all you want is, that's the secret. Everyone's like, don't appropriate. I'm like, please eat our food. Please have a clue what any of our holidays are. I would love that.
What I know about your holidays is that one of them is not happy. One of them is like Halloween.
None of them are
not
happy. These are not.
But one of them, like, young people can drink.
Yeah, Passover. But, like, I feel like Christians know what Passover is, too. It's Yom Kippur. It's, like, the big one where it's like, all right, no one's having a good time. No one's eating. And the rest are just, like, remembering struggle. And so Hanukkah's the only one that's, like, sort of joyful because you eat fried foods. And that's what I wanted to do here, and I wanted it to all be fried. That's what people miss about Judaism. Hanukkah's all about eating fried things. So when you go to a Hanukkah party, it should be, like, donuts and fried chicken and fried Oreos, and that it should be. That's not the right holiday.
Hanukkah's just.
Is anyone here Jewish?
Fair?
Raise your hand. 6. Good. We have enough. Good. Okay.
Enough for a revolution.
It starts tonight, but our backs hurt a little bit, and we're all a little tired. Can we get to the questions now that I've shamed you for not letting me celebrate Christmas like every Jew wants to?
Will it be offensive to you when I now ask you holiday questions?
No, you should ask. Why would you know it? I don't know what Palm Sunday is.
No, I'm saying I'm about to ask you holiday questions with no
what
regard.
Is it? Hold on, he knows. It's just like, I just you don't know. Hold on, we'll give you a mic.
You go to church and you get palms blessed. I don't know the point
You don't
of it.
know what Palm Sunday is either. Oh, this one
knows. Is that
knows.
the one with the ash?
That's Ash Wednesday, you Luddite. What?
Chaos.
She didn't like that you got up. So, what?
You celebrate the coming of Jesus into Jerusalem on a donkey as it was prophesied.
There is a black woman who has definitely gone to church, and she's like, I feel like she's like, yes. She's like, let me have that mic. Do you want to come up with her? Because I'm looking for. Now she's like, I had the answer. Let's hear it.
That's when Jesus rose from the crypt. That's what.
Is that what you said? Oh no!
I think it was before.
No!
I think he came to town, not after. I think it's when he came.
When he came to town.
When he came to town, they waved the palms.
Right, because it's exactly you're celebrating.
You're talking about Palm Sunday.
But I think it was pre-resurrection. Who's with me? Yeah, it's pre-resurrection. I can't believe we're going here, but
wait, let's go back to the Catholic one. I'm assuming, right? Am I right?
Doing this all night.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Right.
She didn't growl, so she was used to it.
Yes, it's pre-resurrection. The 1 week before he died, he comes into Jerusalem riding on the colt, and that was prophesied in Isaiah and a bunch of other Old Testament books.
Okay.
That's Palm Sunday.
That's Palm Sunday. Different than Ash Wednesday. So just showing everyone, it's all very confusing, and it's okay to ask, right? Yeah.
I will say I love so much.
This is not a religious podcast. But I do have a passion for like making it a little less weird that we don't always know everything about each other and like asking questions. Right?
And it's less scary to hear about religion from not a white man. I'm going to be very honest. I like these female voices telling me about religion.
Yeah. You seem
I'd
like
join a cult.
You definitely would join a cult. Probably are in one at
Not
the
that
moment.
I'm calling religion a cult, but if either of the people that just spoke started their own religion, I would be interested.
This has gotten off to a weird foot. I do get, you know what, from you, Emily, I go to a church with a queer female minister vibe. Like, I feel like you and, like, she's, like, I feel like you would love
color,
that. Yeah.
The hair.
Like, yeah. Like, it's Pastor Joannathan. And you're like, I love it.
She made her own robe. It's like 4 p.m. when it happens.
Yeah. You guys become real close. I love it. Well, now we have questions.
Okay, we should help people.
Let's do it. I think it got off to a weird note with the shirt. I just didn't have, I thought I was bold, and I was like, I can carry it.
It looks very breathable.
I am only dark breath. That's what it feels like. That breath. Okay.
Hi, AIA crew and Patreon's newest dynamic duo. I am a 35-year-old male teacher and a father to the kindest and sweetest 4-year-old boy. 2 years ago, my wife of 5 years, together for 10, left me and asked for divorce. I wanted to work through it, but she wasn't interested. Needless to say, I didn't handle it well. It was an emotional wood chipper for me, and I went into a fairly deep depression. Since then, I've bought my own house and currently work a second job to help pay for everything. I've worked a lot on being comfortable, being alone. I'm proud of myself and how far I've come in 2 years. However, throughout the process, I developed a deep disdain for her and the decisions she made that affected my life. I wish I wasn't still so angry, but I am, and here's the dilemma. Multiple instances where she has bought me gifts. The first time was during our divorce, which occurred at Christmas time. She bought a cover for my driver. I think that's golf, which featured a picture of me and my son. Golf.
Yes, it's
cover.
yes. We all know what it is.
I wasn't sure.
You're the only
Objectively,
one.
very, very thoughtful gift. Realistically, a very difficult thing to accept from someone who was actively moving her life out of the house we built together. Found out this was being given to me prior to Christmas. So being the sucker I am, I felt I had to get something, despite not wanting to, but also not wanting to look like an I bought her a one-day pass to a children's museum for her and my son, and assumed that was the end of it.
She's like,
it wasn't.
Great.
It has continued to happen on Christmases and Father's Days ever since. It would be one thing if they were gifts, quote, from my son, but they're clearly from her and are seemingly given with more intention than the decision to end our decade-long relationship. Mother's Day 2023, I did not get her anything. And I found out later that she was extremely upset by this. I don't know what I should do.
So
Do I
weird.
say I know.
It's so weird.
Do I say something about these gifts that I'm receiving? Do I give her gifts? Do I pick out gifts with my son for him to give her? Or is this no longer my responsibility? Despite everything, I can recognize that she's a loving mother. I just am unsure of what I can do to aid my comfort, but also my own healing. Thank you in advance for helping out this single dad with some serious emotional baggage.
I don't know what's weirder, if she's the one who asked for the divorce and gives you gifts, or if you keep giving her gifts after she's divorced you. The good news is you got the divorce, and that she acted on those doubts, because you don't want to be stuck in a marriage where someone's doubting it the whole time. You will start to feel that. The gift thing is her feeling a little guilty, and it's her trying to like normalize everything that's going on, not realizing that like a gift is given to someone that you care about, and once you have split, you're like, we're not friends. Like, we were f***ing. We're lovers. It's different. Like, my husband's always like, I'm not your friend. It's like, yeah, like, you're my best friend because we're married. But, like, if Noah and I got a divorce, where is it? Oh, God. Like, that's going to be the, like, now we won't. If Noah and I, on this composite wood, it's a weird thing to do. It's one thing if you want to, like, help him because he's a little, pick out a gift for Mother's Day so he has the joy of giving it. But other than that, and you definitely are under no obligation to get her a gift back. If that's her own weird, like, love language, great. But you have to say to your wife, like, listen, this divorce has been rough on me. It took a toll on me, and it's sort of a weird way to stay tethered that I feel like I have to get you a gift. And she'll be like, well, Robert, I just gave it to you because I like you. That's her prerogative. She can get you that gift. You are under no court order to gift her a gift. It's a weird way to keep tabs on you and stay tethered to you. Right? Right? He was giving me a thumbs up. Don't do it because she'll get scared. So just keep the thumbs.
Who was she complaining to that she was like, the guy I divorced didn't get me a Mother's Day gift? Like, who is she telling?
Well, she's wanting all the, like, some of the best, not all the best parts, but some of the best parts of a relationship, which is like the thoughtfulness, gifts, and to like be on someone's mind. You asked for a divorce, and like maybe eventually you guys can be like co-parent buddies, but it's still so raw, and she's being so inconsiderate of how much it has hurt you. And by keeping you around, it's like giving you like little crumbs, because I think there's a subconscious part of you that's like, oh, maybe she still cares for me. So it's a little cruel. I don't think she's doing it deliberately, but it's a little cruel. You need to be clear with her that you need some time, not so much apart because you have this kid, but like, you're like, the gift thing, it's just not my thing. And who f***ing cares how she reacts to it? You're divorced. Right? I think so.
Yeah, you can help the kid pick out a Mother's Day gift.
Back clap. Back clap. Okay. That'll
That
just
is
be the show.
something about that is so upsetting.
Yeah!
You're doing it. You're making it happen.
Nighttime goth.
It's on you.
Yeah. Someone's getting off to this somewhere.
Don't do the arms. Don't do the arms.
Someone. Okay.
You want to do an audience question?
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
the whole show. This is the show where you, the viewer, are the guest, because these are your problems that we are all escaping into.
Okay. Is Virginia ready to ask a question?
Oh my God, she growled.
Virginia growled?
Tianfu doesn't like elevation,
Oh, she
speed,
is,
or Virginia.
Is Virginia not here at the buzzer? Okay. Oh,
there.
you are here.
I am here.
Why did you wait so long?
Just
Oh, you don't have a question. I thought.
Virginia.
Yeah, I don't remember even what I wrote. I was just really excited to like submit.
Oh.
But I
Okay.
didn't really think this through.
That's very cute. You do have a question. We prepared an entire choreographed dance. We have someone coming out of a cake. We have horses. Why is it? How about? Do you want her to start to read it, and maybe it'll jog your memory?
You want me to read it?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Do you remember how you got here?
It's about the relationship with your mother-in-law, and when do you know it's time to have a real conversation with someone?
She's like, shut the.
Is she here with
You
you?
drove me here. Do you want to do it or no?
Yeah,
have
no, we
another-
can do it.
It's a pretty heavy
You can change
topic.
some
You seem pretty
details.
cavalier about it. You want to do it?
No, I mean, I'm here. I might as well do it.
You do know you're here. Okay, great.
Yes, know
Okay.
that I'm here.
That's good.
Yes.
We're ready.
Do I have to say it?
I'm not sure what we do. I've never.
Do you read them?
She could read it, or you could just tell us.
Do you want me to read it? You can.
How
you
about
can
Emily?
Say it.
How about you read it, and then you can give us context.
Give us context.
Do you want to do that,
Okay.
Virginia?
The context is my mother-in-law got a DUI 3 years ago. She's also got a divorce. I will say that. Divorce happened, then DUI happened. She moved in with this guy that she's been working with for a while, and he's
he's encouraging the drinking. So they both drink together. And it's really affected our relationship. We went to go visit for Thanksgiving, and she wanted to go stay with her boyfriend instead, even though we were moving across the country. So I don't know when is a good time to have the conversation where I think that your drinking is affecting our relationship. Not even with just me, but with my kids.
It's your husband's mom?
Yes.
Your husband has to have that conversation. And this is the advice that I give on this podcast all the time. This will become about you. And you need it to be about her. This is affecting you and your kids, but it's probably affecting your husband more because that's his mother. This happens a lot where women take up for this, right? And you're like, I wanted to protect my family, my husband. This is unpleasant for all of us. We're also worried for you. But somehow women get tasked with that. And the guy just sits there like, I don't know, I guess you two can't work it out. Your husband needs to step up and say something to her and protect his family before you guys re-engage with her. And it needs to be his issue with her, and you can support him. That was the piece of advice my mother gave me when I got married. I'm sure she gave me other advice, but I don't remember it. And it sounds like she's passed. She's definitely with us. You've heard her on the pod. She was like, don't get involved. And so even though my in-laws are lovely, like I always, when it comes to like logistics or opinions, like I let my husband do it, because even though we all love each other, the woman always gets blamed. You will always be the bitch because you spoke out, because you said the thing no one else wanted to say. Do you understand?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it?
Am I going to do what?
What I said.
I'm sorry. I'm so just like
in awe of this blouse.
Especially the blouse and the dog. I love the dog.
She's distracting, and she has been growling at you.
Iliza,
but I do feel like that the voice gets quieted. Like I don't know what their dynamic was before I came along, but I feel like
married
13 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
and
is your mom too.
I become voice. He gets quiet, and
yeah.
then I just kind of insert myself, and I'm like, "Hey, let's go visit your mom," or "Hey, let's go visit your dad."
Right, you're planning.
I'm
I'm
inserting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like with a heavy conversation like that, I would also be the one to say, "Hey, maybe we should sit down and talk to your mom before she just slowly disappears."
You can say that to him, but he has to do it, and then you're within your right to be like, "Then I'm not comfortable visiting." Because I have to put my kids first and just how uncomfortable we're going to be. It is a practice to be like, and I can't fight this battle for you. Like, you have to do that. Put that to your husband. And if he loves you, which I'm sure he does, and he loves his mom and he loves his kids, he'll hear you and he will in his own way. We can't police the way that our husbands, we can't dictate to them exactly what to do. So he'll do it in his own way. And then you kind of just have to go with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No one responds well to any conversation about their drinking. They just don't. I think maybe the start of how you talk to your husband about talking to his mom about it is more about the DUI and the making poor decisions and how these bad dudes are influencing her to make unsafe decisions and you have children, rather than like, you need to stop drinking. Get it together.
Yeah, no alcoholics is like, you're right, this sucks. I hate having constant serotonin.
Yeah.
But load up your husband with all those talking points, but it probably will take that boyfriend leaving or something happening for her to realize that it's just like too much.
She's not saving up for her own future. I mean, this is after her divorce.
Yes.
The drinking. She found somebody that's also making it okay for her to continue drinking.
I think this is partially a generational thing. You know, women who are, I say our mother's age or around that generation were never really taught stuff about finances, and it was always about depending on someone. And so she got a divorce, went right to this guy. And it's also a thing that happens with women a lot. Like, you just need to find someone that can support you and help you. And this guy's not really helping her. Again, these things need to come from your husband. And it might come down to, like, you cannot see your grandkids because this is not a safe environment and we're worried about you. And it might take a couple of times. And it might take this guy leaving her, but like your husband might have to say, like, you have no money saved, and when this guy dumps you or you decide to get sober and he doesn't like it, you will be left with nothing. And she may not hear it for a while, but the important thing is that you said what you had to say via him. He says it and you just quietly support him. This can't be the battle that you fight for him.
I know, but I love her so much, and she's more like a mom to me than my own mom, and so
Then do it together, but let him do that. Like, you can be there and support it. You don't have to be mean, but like, she's not going to hear it. And so maybe if the two of you do it, but I'm just saying, like, let him be the one. It's his mom before it's your mom, even though you love her so much. Like, he has to do that. Otherwise, she's going to start to resent you.
Yeah.
Or you say it and she's like, oh my God, thank you. I was waiting for someone to say something.
Yeah, like you said, oh, I don't want to drink anymore. Yeah, woo,
always write her a letter.
Need alcohol. It's fine.
Always write her a loving letter, but that's my. The bat has spoken. The great about.
I will also say, if you have her to your house in the future, I had a friend. I got them a bunch of non-alcoholic alcohols that were like nice, so that it's like, I know they're not that fun, but it's like so that when they're at your house you can make a fun quote unquote drink, just like have that experience. They're not.
You gave this to an alcoholic?
Yeah.
No, that's like to a guy that got a castration, like, here's a sex doll, so you can't really f it, but it has all the. I don't know why I went there. I don't know.
This episode is so aggressive.
I don't know why I said that. I don't know why. Who's been castrated? The shirt was speaking. It was Morticia. Is the dog hair?
Morticia would never talk like that.
Well, we should do a question from the at-home audience.
Yeah, we're going to do a question, and
it's going to cut together so well, by the way. You'll see. What? Did you guys enjoy the free pizza? I wanted you guys to have a snack. What? I was trying to, while you get your shit together.
I have it. You're trying to plug them up before the show so they won't leave. Holiday in-law drama. Dear Iliza and AIA crew, my husband's family is from a rural town in western Montana. They have a beautiful ranch that's pretty remote. Every other holiday, we switch off going from my family to his side of the family. This arrangement has worked really well for us, and I genuinely enjoy spending time with both sides, but there is one problem. My in-laws live in a remote 2-bedroom cabin, and we are often left to sleep in a spare bedroom in the barn. Think just a thin wall in a barn with a mattress on the other side of it.
Oh no, we know what a barn.
I have roughed it in these conditions at least once a year since my husband and I have been together. However, we are expecting our first baby in March. My sister-in-law has 2 small girls, 3 and 5, that usually take the spare room. My in-laws sleep in their room, and my brother-in-law takes the couch in the living room. I don't want to force anyone out into the barn room, but I also don't want my baby sleeping out there, especially during the winter holidays. My logical answer to this is that we just do an extended summer holiday with my in-laws and save winter for my family, where there is a spare room inside the house. Another option would be that our in-laws come stay with us for the holidays. However, my in-laws can't really afford to travel. I did check Airbnbs around the area, and the nearest one is 40 minutes away. I've brought this up with my husband, and he's still convinced we can make it work, but hasn't brought up any solutions. My question, how can I best bring up this conversation to the in-laws as to not hurt their feelings, but also help them see the logic that a barn in the winter is not the best place for a baby? Thank you so much. Look forward to your podcast. Makes me laugh out loud every time. Sincerely, a daughter-in-law that just wants to sleep inside for the holidays. Here's another in-law question, Iliza. I feel like this person can just go straight to these people and say, I'm not sleeping outside.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not putting my baby in a barn. Having just spent some time in rural Montana, it is cold, and I did sleep in a barn. It was a really nice barn. But there were a lot of flies. And that is just to say, even in like a sheet barn, there were still parts of the like elements that you could not escape. Get a space heater. This is partially about the baby, but this is also you being like, look, I've had a child. We're part of this family. It's uncomfortable. I think you make a go of it once. I don't think that your in-laws would put you somewhere where a baby's going to freeze to death. I think you get a space heater, you suck it up this once, and if it is untenable, then you make other arrangements. But I think any of these things that you offer sound fine. Just be careful, because this is the holidays, and it will look like you were being difficult and using the baby as an excuse. Not that I have a problem with looking difficult when I stand up for my children, but I feel like there's something other than just the baby here.
Get an air mattress, put it inside, sleep inside.
I don't think you can.
Why?
Like, even the other brother is on that couch. Like, I don't know where you would put it.
Why is this whole family going to this house that has?
Because it's the holidays. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be awful. You're supposed to be taking a dump with 6 people waiting for that same bathroom. Kerplunk. Like, that's what the holidays are. Who says she should just go and try it this one time and get a space heater? Oh my God, no one?
Oh.
Who says they should they should order an air mattress to be delivered to the home?
No, these people are saying don't go. If it is as terrible as you're saying, if it is truly a barn that has a bed in it and there's no insulation, then obviously that's untenable. I just can't imagine grandparents actually expecting a baby to stay in there. So is it uncomfortable or is it unacceptable? As long as it's warm enough, I don't. And plus, you get all your. If that baby cries, you have your own space. So, I need a picture of this barn.
It could either be rustic or crimey. We don't know.
Yeah, like there's a thin line between like charming and like grandma's got a shotgun. Yeah. There's all different kinds of charming. You know, like there was a cult here at one point. When you say barn, what are we saying here?
We're really getting into semantics.
Didn't you say like mattress on the floor of just a barn? That sounds very like not good things are happening in that barn.
If it truly is untenable, because you cannot get the Airbnb because it's too far away, and that sort of negates the whole trip, just say these things. And if it really is about the baby being warm enough, if they can't understand that, then like these people. I'm saying all of these options, and I did say this at the beginning, so I will go on record as having said this. These are all good options to put out before them. Because they're going to make it like, oh, you're being difficult. But yeah, you can always say, oh, my kid had diarrhea. I couldn't go to Christmas. Even though your kid didn't have diarrhea. You just didn't want to go. You just didn't want to schlep to Western Montana.
So everybody listening, watching, everybody who sees this knows that's Eliza's excuse. So when she tells you she's not coming to your big lifetime event because of diarrhea.
I know that it's like bad luck to say that your kid was sick and you had to miss on something because you didn't want to do it, but I've done it and I will do it again. And you will never be able to call me on it because then I'll just dig my heels in further. The diarrhea was everywhere. She really didn't feel well. I was like a little hungover and didn't want to get on the Zoom call.
You've not lied to me that I know of. But you very aggressively dig in your heels when you think someone else is lying. And you ask a lot of follow-up questions, which makes me think you'd be a pretty good liar.
As someone who lies, and my husband has pointed out that I do it often and for no reason.
Oh, no. So,
I don't care. Oftentimes, lying will help to pad the truth. Let's say that's the third time you up with something and you know that if you can say like I'm so sorry, like there was so much traffic and I was late for the appointment and it was backed up, a tree fell, then they're like, okay, a tree fell, and you're like, oh good, I was a little bit late, I'm doing my best. Like, you're never hurting anyone. I just think sometimes if you can like bolster your argument a little bit, it saves someone's feelings. I didn't want to go to your birthday because I think you're a bitch and I don't like your husband. Oh, I just didn't feel well. Everybody wins. I don't have to sit with you and your awful racist husband, and I still said happy birthday to you. Like, what's the big deal? But people get this way, too, when I say I hope someone dies, and everyone's like, how can you say that? I'm like, how can you not? Like, that person was awful. Losing the audience. I think as a woman, you offer context when no one asked for it. All you gotta do is be like, hey, can't make it. But we have the need to be like, hey, can't make it because I'm just really bogged down right now. It's almost like an extension of having to excuse the fact that you're existing and made your own choices. So I do work at it, but I definitely will tell a little white lie if I know no one will be hurt. And you'll never know because they're shiny and pearly white lies.
But you're the first one to be like, so a tree fell. What road was that? What kind of tree? How many branches did it have?
Because it takes one
Were
to
you
know
behind
one.
a lot of cars? And I'm like, I don't know. I could have been behind a tree, but now I'm like, maybe it wasn't a tree and I just went in circles and got scared.
Okay. I know that if I'm doing this and everyone gasped and you all judge me, I know you do it too. And you're just like, oh, I can't believe she lied. You all do it. You all do it and you don't even realize it. Little lies, and I'm just bold enough to say it. We'll be right back. There is no commercial break. It's so uncomfortable up here right now.
Can you imagine a commercial break after I lie about everything? And you're like, you know what I love? The fresh Lindor chocolates. Well, you just told everyone you lie. You know what I love about them? It's so specific. Their wrappers are really great.
They're really great. I like how they don't make a noise at all when I unwrap them when I smuggle them to a movie theater. I love it. Why believe anything? Except me. You should believe me.
Oh, right.
I was very honest about this top and how insecure I felt about it. You pausing makes this uncomfortable. That's what happens.
Do you want to do a confession?
I do. I deeply, deeply do.
That's the entirety of the clip.
Listen, you wanted a title card. I was like, I guess I can come up with something. For these confessions, I just want to warn everyone. What's happening?
Would you like to know, as part of my setup, my cord wasn't plugged in.
Oh.
For power.
Are you okay now?
Yeah.
I thought you fell.
I just passed out slowly. I just crawled away to plug in my computer.
We call for confessions. We ask for people to write in these confessions, and we get a lot of good ones, and people seem to enjoy it. And we keep you anonymous. We take it very seriously. There's no like secret log where we're like writing your name down. I know I said I like lied before, but like I've never lied to my fans. We're talking about white lies because you were late for the dentist. Okay. And honestly, like they should have free parking in the first place. I wouldn't have such anxiety about driving to Wilshire Boulevard. So when you write into our show, we treat it lovingly. So we put like a voice warble, right, Scott?
Yeah, we went deep cover on this one.
Sometimes the voice cover-up we do is so crazy, it changes your gender.
I said deep cover.
Yeah.
This is deep.
Deep penetrative cover. So here we go.
My confession is that my best guy friend, whose wife does not love me, when they got married, I attended the wedding with my now husband, then boyfriend, and I got very drunk. And I accidentally signed their guest book, Love, my name, and the friend's name, instead of my name and my boyfriend's name.
Oh.
And then I freaked out, told my now husband, and we had to do some creative art in their guest book to cover it up. I figured she would never let him talk to me again if she knew that I had signed the guest book with his name instead of my own dates. I have never told him this. They have been married for 13 years now. We are still friends. She still doesn't like me.
First of all, it's so great to have a drag queen on our show. No one reads the guest book in its entirety. And you spend all this time at a wedding, you're like, I hope your life is filled with nobody. I think it's an antiquated thing. They've probably never opened it. You do love your best friend. You have a crush on him, and the wife senses it. That's why she doesn't like you. And so it's cool that you guys have been able to maintain this friendship, and you have. But I guess the confession is just that they're not asking for advice.
No, they're
It's
not.
cool that your
but
husband's cool with it too. He's like, I'll help you bury the body.
There has to be some guilt there in that it's been 13 years and she's still. And the fact, if you accidentally wrote the wrong name, it would just be like, oh shit, I ruined the guest book. It wouldn't be like, oh, obviously I'm thinking about him. I'm writing him a little missive about his wedding. But the fact that it was like, I gotta cover this up. They can't know. It's like, well, why?
Because it looks like she's envisioning them as a couple at the wedding, and it's fair. You could have been reading his name. You do it all the time where you're reading something and you say someone's name, and I call you Earwolf because I'm looking at that Earwolf sign. The juicier part would be like, and I never told my husband. But the fact that your husband was like, I'm down. Like, never let them know because she hates you. I guess you win. I guess you didn't win the guy. But what? She likes him. Don't turn on me. I'm just gonna cut it out, and you'll never see it. It's a good confession, though. Send us your confessions. The juicier, the better, because this audience has a high standard for juiciness.
Iliza, do you want to do a question, or you want to try to get some songs?
Oh, we would really like to get some songs. This is a new thing that we're asking for. We're trying to replace our dearly departed Fight Me. And so one thing we noticed on our Patreon, which who here has subscribed to our free Patreon? Okay, that's not all of you, but that's fine. It's free. I don't know why you wouldn't want that community. The biggest thread on there is people sharing their pets. And it's no surprise. It's the biggest thing on the internet. It's what everybody uses Google for, to look at kittens and organize insurrections. But I sing songs to my dog. I've done multiple sketches about it. I've talked about it a lot on stage. We want to hear your songs to your pets. So Emily has engineered this.
Well, no, we did not put out a call to this audience.
We did not put out a call to this audience.
We put out a call to the audience in general for upcoming episodes. But the thought here was, is anyone brave enough they want to get up and share with Iliza a song that they sing to their pets?
Okay.
Do they all look
First
scared?
hand gets... Okay, you win. What I'd like you to do is pull up a picture of your pet.
Now, hold on, Iliza.
What?
Let Scott play your theme song. He has a sound.
Okay. I'm going to sing my song. Oh, you have it. So, Scott, just to wet everyone's whistle, it will not be as good as this, but it should be something like this. Animal song. Your mouth is so small. Animal song. I give it my all. Squeeze your body, I give you a kiss. Animal songs, this time I won't miss. Thank you. Extra points if you can make it about your pet's mouth. Tianfu has a thick mouth, and I'm very obsessed with her tiny little mouth. Okay, and what was your name? I'm Jill. Jill, okay, why don't you come up here? Okay, this is your own picture. Is this your first time seeing them? What? Oh, that's fair.
Here's a picture of my kid and my dog.
Just the dog's fine. Oh my God. Okay, it's just a big dog.
Well, that's a tiny baby.
That's a tiny baby. Okay, let's hear. Do you have a picture of just the dog?
Yeah.
Because I find our audience gets upset when they see a baby. I find our male audience gets in the middle of a bit, Jill.
Oh.
She's just like felling. Like she's just like in her own world right now. She's like, the baby or the dog, I don't know.
Which is perfect.
All the time.
Let's hear it.
My family thinks I'm crazy.
No, hold it out. I'll hold it.
This is the food song. This is the food song. After the dog walk, when I feed the dog, affection before food. Because I learned it from Caesar Milan. Affection before food, affection before food. I want affection before food. Yeah!
That's actually exactly how I thought that was going to go.
Yeah, it's like a hostage situation too. Like you're not getting fed.
Nobody expected a multisyllabic word like right up top. We thought it was going to be like feet, and you were like affection, like a poem to my large dog.
Jill, I'm tearing up.
When you do that, is the dog like? Are you saying I'm giving you affection before food, or are you saying you want affection before food?
She's such a good girl, and she will wait and wait and wait for her food. But I have also heard you should give the dog affection
before food. I heard that too just now.
So
is that a thing? You're supposed to do it?
I guess maybe I made that up, but I thought I learned it from
It can't
the
hurt.
dog whisper.
Yeah.
And then I do a hug ritual, and then I give her the food.
That's great. That's great.
What's the ritual?
Yeah, what's that? Do you want to
Besides
show
a
us?
hug.
Oh my gosh, it's very strange. It's a side hug because she's a big, thick rhinoceros dog. So I have to.
Because you don't want your nipples touching?
I have to come to the side and I just do this sort of shaking thing.
I love that this is going to be on the internet.
It's just she's very old now, and I don't know how many. Like she doesn't have much longer, so this is very special that I'm getting to share this very strange thing I
What's
do
her
with my
name?
dog, Haley.
Haley. She's a big girl. Big nipples. I feel like female dogs that are that big have just like giant, odd numbered nipples.
She was spayed before she was a mother.
Oh, I think it has nothing to do with having breastfed children. Your dog's breastfed.
That dog actually, her babies were on formula.
Multiple nipples. I just think everybody has a soft spot for their pets, and everybody does something weird like that. And
You know what?
there's nothing. It's great. It's beautiful.
I want to pull this audience because I love that, and I want everyone to be nice. But my belief with creating this segment on the general show is that nobody actually really cares about someone else's animal or their song for their animal.
I didn't at first, but then I saw the joy. Like she was in another place
Right, that was the
mentally,
best.
and that's what I liked. So I saw the dog, and I was like, "Well, I'm not a big dog fan." And then I'm sorry, I'm not. And then you had such joy and love for your dog, and then you said she was older, and I just think about how much you love doing, and then you called it a ritual, and I was like, "That's even more special." Yeah. So that's what made it great for me. And you did the dance. It's your food prayer. Well, that's weird, but that's really. I mean, is it any weirder than me calling her Robert Brazier?
She has a lot of names.
Yeah. Spanish Madeir. Robert Pontoon. They're mostly Robert. She's like, I'm sorry, someone woke me up. Anyways, we should do one more question.
What would you do? I, female, 35, no kids, have been in a long-distance relationship, 3-hour drive, for almost 2 years. You know this is the one, but neither of your jobs will transfer, and you both love your jobs. He can't move because of elderly parents. I don't have anyone tying me to my town, but I love my city and job. His town is smaller, and I would have to give up my career and start all over. It's scary, but we want to start our lives together in a family. It would mean being dependent on him, as I will probably lose my retirement and have to start over. I don't know what to do. Stay long distance or start over. Help. My name on here is fake, so feel free to use it. Ardy. A-R-D-Y.
Okay. This is a tough one, and I put it on the show because, full disclosure, when we do the podcast, I do not read them ahead of time, but I did put on eyeliner for this, so I was like, we should be more prepared. So I did read this. It's a lot of eyeliner. I don't know that I have the perfect answer because I don't know this relationship, the stage of it. This is your boyfriend. You've been dating a while. You're not engaged. I have a problem telling a woman to relinquish control over her financial security, especially if you're in the kind of job that was it a pension?
Retirement that she'll lose.
You've built up something with this company that you don't know if you can get back, and you love the job. Of course, we all have priorities. Having a husband, maybe a family is a priority. Where would you be if you could not do this job and you could not get another job that was as fulfilling? So I can't answer that for you, but I can say I don't like the idea of a woman becoming dependent on a boyfriend. It's different if you're married and this is for someone who's going to be making more money and you're both giving up. If you move to him, you are giving up everything. You didn't say to me that he loved this job. It sounds to me like he just has a job. I appreciate the elderly parents. Are they together? Do they have each other? Is this elderly like he needs to clothe them? He needs to see them every day. 3 hours is not a far drive, and perhaps you could do it and visit every other weekend. You're in a situation where you're being asked to give up everything so he can stay cozy. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. Relationships are give and take. And it's not like we both need to be in pain, but like there should be sacrifice on both part because that way you have some skin in the game, especially because he's just your boyfriend. I don't care how long you've been dating. How do we feel about that? How do you feel about that? Well, no, but usually I would like the audience to be so overcome by my advice that they're like, I can't control my hands. But they're just scared. We get a lot of questions on this podcast that are secretly about giving up your power financially. And we get a lot of questions on this podcast about it's not about not respecting your relationship with a boyfriend, but I have a boyfriend. I met a guy. Should I give up everything? You need to exist on this planet independent of a relationship. No matter how badly you want one, no matter how much you're in love. This might be TMI. My husband and I have separate bank accounts. I think when we got married, we had to set up a joint or something, but I think there's $30 in it. Your expenses should be yours. If you have some sort of arrangement where the husband pays for everything, but you have something else, but you need self-worth at the end of the day. And if you don't build that up when you're younger, then you end up just sort of attached to a guy forever. Okay? So always make sure you have that because that's all you're going to have at the end of the day when he inevitably dies before you.
Then don't you inherit everything?
That's it. Good night. What?
Then don't you inherit everything if he dies?
What if he was bad at money management? You get that a lot. Women, the husband dies, and she's like, and now I have all these bills. And it's like, yeah, you should have read that ledger.
Ledger.
They run a general store in my mind.
Yeah. I'm imagining that's how you do it at your household, that you have a paper
big
and you
book. And I go down it.
Hat. You know that account
We're in the black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get one of those green ones.
Yeah.
And I do this with my adding machine.
Right. You're like, okay, we're okay this week.
We're okay this week. No, keep the dog alive. Okay. Top of the cob.
We also worked very hard on this one, too, so please enjoy.
Queued up.
Yeah.
I had it queued up.
It shouldn't be a system of levers and pulleys. It should just be a button. I hate that we can see the button.
With a cob, we're doing it right.
I'm sorry, I'll restart
I
it.
hate you.
With a cob.
Oh.
This a talk with a cob.
Remix
Doing
it.
it right. Every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
So it was supposed to look really appetizing.
It was a stunt cobbler.
It's a stunt cobbler. I mean, it's just not a pretty dish unless it's whole. Okay, let's start with bottom of the cob. We like to start bottom and then move to the top because that's the tastiest part, and it's good to end on a high note. So would anybody in the audience like to share their bottom of the cob?
Would you like for us to go first to give them a second, or are they super prepped over there?
They've heard the podcast. It's the only reason they're here. Nobody wandered in here, and they were like, what is this? Why don't you go first, Emily? Oh, would you like to? What? Don't point at her. She doesn't like that. You pointing at her. Do you want to? Okay. Do you want to go first, Emily, and then she'll go, or do you want to have her kick it off?
She's ready. Go.
What's your name? Erica. Do you want to? Do we want to bring her up, or do we want to? Why don't you come stand next to this table that someone put here for no reason?
My bottom of the cob is having my husband try to correct my driving for the last 21 years, almost. We met in traffic school. He was my driving school instructor. So
that's your bottom of the cob?
I mean, I got him. That's the top, but he still tries to correct my driving.
Leopard can't change its spots. He will always be a correctional driver. Okay, well, that's your bottom of the cob.
Yes.
Are you a bad driver?
Yes.
Okay.
When she gets on the freeway, their head is pinned against the glass because she's hitting the accelerator.
On a freeway?
On the turn.
On the turn, okay.
You're supposed to speed up in the straight and then let off the gas and let the momentum take you around the on-ramp, the turn. So
you are. It's true. You should not be... You should let the moment. I heard you were supposed to hit the gas when you turn. Is that not?
No, it's straight. You hit it, but then you just come off the gas and let the momentum take you on the turn because you're asking your tires.
I'm not paying you for this. By the way,
not if you're setting.
I don't do this anymore anyway. But I'm saying you don't want your tires to do two things at the same time. You don't want you don't want to accelerate, go really fast, and then turn at the same time. You're asking your tires to do two different things.
What about just keeping your hazards on, like just in case, like just for fun? I will tell you, I have started to brainwash my daughter. I always whisper to her, like, Mommy's a good driver. She won't know for quite some time whether that's true or not.
You are a good driver, Iliza. You're very good. You're very, because you're a decisive driver.
I'm an offensive driver.
I thought decisive was nicer.
Okay, I appreciate that. I don't get in the accident. I cause the accident.
And you're gone.
Because I was definitive.
You keep the gap. Do you keep the gap between you and the car in front of you? That's
You've
always
got
the big thing. More than 50% are rear enders because you got to keep at least 3 seconds between the car in front of you. So it's
interesting.
Well, they go into the overpass and you go mark and you count 1001, 1002, 1003, and then get to the that's the 3 seconds. You're going 90 feet per second. So if you only have
what almost came out of my mouth was Dad.
Yeah, that's fine. I am a dad.
I see why this is your bottom of the cob. It started out as informative, and now I'm just like, okay, but I didn't break the law.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, I appreciate that. And I love that you guys came together to the show. That's adorable. Thank you. You can tell he's very proud of you. You gotta drive. She can't drive. What's your bottom of the cob?
This bottom, I feel like, Iliza, you're either going to be really on board with or you're going to be upset. I started a new skincare routine. And
I thought you were going to say wine.
Am I the only one, or does the vitamin C type stuff, it smells like blood? Yes? Like copper. So
I need you to look up symptoms for a stroke.
Because that's the bottom of the cup.
I think it's just iron that smells like blood.
Iron. Yeah, it smells like...
You know what? It might just be like a chemical. Like, what brand is it?
Drunk Elephant.
I think that's beer.
No,
the vitamin
it's
C
definitely
serum.
Like an IPA. Like, we have a brewery. It's me and Chad.
It's delicious. I had it like 2 weeks ago.
We're in a band.
My face feels so good, but my head smells like I'm bleeding. So that's a bottom of the cob for me.
Well, something people don't know about Emily is that, and this is not me being mean, you did have your sense of smell like kind of jacked up after COVID.
For a while, yeah. It's back now, but yes, no, it did mess up certain things. I can't eat hummus anymore.
Oh, no.
Legitimately.
I know that was so culturally significant to you.
I liked it as a snack.
It is a good snack, and it's good for you. I think we all remember the episode at Sex and the City where Samantha got her hormones taken at the border in Dubai, or was it sweet potatoes? Anyway, she ate a lot of yams. You're right.
Yeah.
Who said yams? Yes, it was yams. You're right. And then we all were like, does that work? I think your olfactory senses might have like their wires crossed a little bit. I think one man's blood is another man's blood orange. And I wonder if the vitamin C is just like a chemically smell, because it's not like all natural ingredients. So I wonder What is happening?
I'm just finally bathing, and I'm like, what is that?
Are you using a vitamin C serum, Emily?
Yeah.
Just the serum?
No, it's like 4 things I put on. They call it a smoothie, and you mix the things
No!
together.
You don't... You put them on layers, though, right? You don't mix them like a smoothie.
I mixed 3 of them
No.
together.
This is why 10-year-olds are getting... Shut up. This is why... What? No. You need to layer on these things delicately. You are 53 years old. You need to layer these... Don't do the skin smoothie. You need to layer these things on. You need to give each one time to absorb into your skin. Otherwise, it'll like get cakey. You gotta look it up, the order. I always get it wrong. You need, I'm looking because I know who you are. I was to say sunscreen, but you don't go in the sun. But you need sunscreen, a blue light sort of blocking thing because the lights from your screen is also bad. Retinol and a good eye cream and a good moisturizer to lock it in. My bottom of the cob. I'm getting my Christmas episode in, whether you like it or not, Scrooge. This color palette in particular. For Christmas, I just hate it. It just reads as like cheap, Mary, bull, ugly, like not committing to Christmas colors, but not chic. It's just, I don't know. It's the Isaac Mizrahi 4 target of color palettes. If you could please go to the next slide, Your Honor. I would like to. I don't like a pastel mixed with a Kelly green either. It is a winter holiday for now, while global warming is still kept someone at bay. I don't want to see spring colors, or as some of you would call it, Easter. I don't want to see that with the teal, which I do not enjoy as a color. Next, I don't. It's not my color. I don't like this. I don't like the Kelly green with the watermelon. It's like a magenta. I just don't like it. It's too bright. We all know Christmas is an evergreen, like a Douglas fir, but it's really the magenta. And it's like a watermelon-y magenta. Anyways, that's it. Going back to the original palette. And I really thought I would say it, and everyone would be like, yeah, that's always bothered me too. But it's a color. Thank you. He's like, let's move on. But now that I've said it, you guys are all going to be like, yeah, oh yeah, I can see it. You're like, she didn't like it. Maybe I don't like it either. I like a classical Christmas.
Dark red, dark green?
Yeah, and gold, and like all things sort of like that European Christmas vibe that we don't actually have here in Southern California. I don't mind Christmas lights on a palm tree. That's something fun that we do. Hanukkah is great too, as long as it's like the right color blue and some sparkly lights. I don't like to get weird with it. I don't. It's not even my holiday, and I'm very protective over it. I don't like it. I don't like when people say Merry Merry. What the fuck does that even mean? Commit to saying Merry Christmas and commit to not canceling people for saying it. All right? Yeah, that's all right. I'm not Christian, but if you say Merry Christmas to me, I'll say it back to you. I'm not going to be like, well, technically. Like, whatever. It's a nice holiday.
Top of the cob.
Okay.
I brought a prop for mine. Can anybody see this? I got little coin holders that have foam in them.
Oh.
So that it holds the coin perfectly.
For all your money?
For like silver coins that I have. And so I got to spend time just popping out the little foams, opening the little things, putting the foam in, putting the coin in. Very nice. I stopped that to come to this show, and I get to finish when the show ends.
Well, I don't want to keep you
for me.
from your life's work. Virginia wants to know if the cats have fun with that too.
I had to fight them off, and then I had to put it in the closet and close the door to keep them away. So
Emily,
it is a dangerous hobby.
What's the significance of that quarter?
Good question.
This quarter specifically, these were just coins that were in a bag that my grandpa had that are maybe silver.
What's the year on that quarter?
This is a 1963 quarter.
Hold on to that, because one day you can tell your adopted grandchildren, like, this was a symbol of democracy, and I'll explain what that is to you.
So anyway, I enjoyed that. That was fun for me.
You know what? That's a cute hobby, and you love putting something in a little thing. I remember when you got your pill case and you cut out the little Tylenol thing. How's that pill case going? How's it working?
I still haven't gotten the labels to stick, but I am eating pills out of it, so I think that
eating pills. My top of the cob is image, please, so I can remember what I said.
I was so deep into my focus on this. Here we go.
Yeah, that's right. We were on a vacation in Montana last week. I love taking selfies. I'm like, I bet no one can tell I'm buzzed. And then I look back, I'm like,
is this when you were angrily
do I look
me?
drunk? Do I look buzzed? No, this was a different time on that trip that I was drunk, and I told Emily I was going to call her and yell at her. We have a weird relationship. Anyways, the guy brought over this cider from Western Cider. They're out of Missoula, Montana. And it was outstanding. It was a sour cherry one, and there's another picture. Sorry, that's the sour cherry. I don't know what the other one was, but I love the sour cherry, and I thought I looked so hot. And I looked.
Yeah, were you shooting an ad for them?
I thought I would tag them. I really believe. I don't care if I get anything for free. I really believe in like sharing brands that you like. It doesn't have to be about reciprocity. Like they're a small company out of Missoula, Montana, and so I was just like, hey, I just want to let you know I like it. And then I drank a lot of it. So you didn't feel too drunk, but then here's obviously the last image. Really confirmed. But drinking a cider, which is like usually out of a can, out of a nice wine glass, made it feel really elevated. And I liked it. And it felt really good. And I always do that bit, and it's never not funny to me. And my husband was cool with sitting there with me. But that was, I'd never tasted cider that tasted like that. It wasn't too sweet. It wasn't too alcohol-y tasting. Didn't taste like blood, Emily. We can take that picture down.
Okay, you don't want to just keep looking at that?
Doesn't have to be there.
So when you were taking these photos, what was Noah doing?
I think he was like secretly watching the Suns on his phone. There's so many times where I've been like, what are you doing? Like, in my head, annoyed. And he's either talking to someone about a restaurant or secretly just watching a Suns game. And that's fine. He loves the Suns. And I know who Devin Booker is. So, thank you. They've got quite the lineup there. Yeah. Kevin Durant is also on the Suns. He doesn't like the nickname Durantula, but I think it's great. I would embrace it.
That's a cool nickname.
That's what I said when I saw him. No, I've never met Kevin Durant. All right. Folks, I cannot tell you how meaningful it is that people take time out of their really busy lives to sit in LA traffic and come watch us do Ask Iliza Anything live. We hope to be bringing more of these to you, and thank you so much for being in our audience. Thank you for submitting your questions, for sharing with us all of these things. We just want to create a show where people can escape their lives into the problems of other people, and we can all come together and understand each other a little bit more. Thank you for watching Ask Iliza Anything, and we'll be back next week. We'll see you then. Okay.